Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Hey, it's your girl Andrea. What's up? Hi. I was gone when they loaded out fat cattle, so that was our first load of the year. I was pretty sad about it, to be honest. It's one of my favorite days, as like bittersweet as it is, but to see all of the hard work and the genetic information and like bull pigs, feed, you know, all of that, breeding decisions, calving work, all of that coming full circle to end up with cattle leaving on a truck to become beef and byproducts for the world is one of the most incredibly rewarding days, in my opinion. So it was really sad that I wasn't there, especially for the first truck of the year. We will have more very soon again, but it's just kind of a bittersweet feeling because it is so much work that goes into it, and it takes a year and a half, 2 years to get to that point. So it's always kind of a fun moment to see what you've done coming on the other end. So I had the fam bam get videos. So between my brother, my dad, my mom, and Nathan, they actually got a good hodgepodge of videos. So we'll add this all in here and see what I can montage put together for a video without boss lady being here.
And they go again, following the temperature, getting a little warmer, not a lot of wind, so they get the shade again. Figure since I got it, just will use it. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. It's payback time for the new pit barn.
So we sort based on who is the chunkiest. So not the entire group does not go out together. We sort based on who is ready, finished enough at a point that they have a finished brisket. They got the booty fat, all of that good marbling is going to be there. So it is really great quality beef, and get the chunkiest monkeys out of there. Anybody that still had some weight to gain, there are still some chunkies left that will go very soon. But the goal is to get anyone that was like ready, the chubbiest ones out the door to go. And then we will have more coming as they continue to kind of gain weight and hit that mark. So we sorted, it was about 20 heifers and 20 steers, half and half. So 20 out of the fat heifer yard, out of the east yard, and then 20 out of that, which is pretty good. And fat cattle are worth a lot right now. If you didn't know, the beef industry generally goes on a 10-year cycle, and we are at the high, right? Like, potentially not the highest high, but we are at the high years right now, where when I got out of college, like, we were happy to sell fat cattle for 2/3 of this price, to be honest. It was a good day when you did that. And now we're here where every single animal, to be quite frank, like $3,000 animals right now, which is insane. And in a couple of years, it will not be that way. That is how we ride this lovely cycle that the cattle industry goes in. The hogs do the same thing. Chicken does it too. It's driven by supply and demand, but every time, right now, the price is really high because of where we're at in the cycle, but it also is very high because of the cow inventory numbers. So when cow inventory, mama cows, is low, you're having less calves born, which means you're gonna have less calves at weaning for feedlots to purchase, less cattle coming into feedlots, less beef in general. There is some like skew to that because fat cattle, finished cattle are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So we're actually getting an extra, I think it's like 26 pounds per animal now than a handful of years ago, because they're getting bigger. So there's that piece to it, but there's just not as many animals out there, beef animals, as there was 5 years ago. So they got to take that time to build back the herd. I just don't know if that's actually truly happening right now, because people can sell, you know, like kill cows and kill bulls for a heck of a lot right now. So it's hard to want to like build back your herd when you can make so much money selling them as beef animals for the world instead of making them mamas or letting them reproduce type of thing. So like, it's hard, you know, when we preg check heifers, I'm like, hey, we have heifers that are pregnant for the year, but that's an animal that we could sell now or in a month or two when they're fat enough for $3,000, knowing in 5 years they're not going to be worth that as mama cows. You know what I mean? So it just kind of depends what happens. I mean, a couple of years ago, you were buying cows for $1,500, and that was a little bit spendy. Now you're trying to buy cows for $3,000, and it's normal. So it's just kind of a like crazy chaos, and I'm real here. So today was a very good payday, very much needed with the price of corn. This is where it's really nice to have a diverse operation that has the crops and the cattle, because generally when cattle are high, corn is low. So right now corn is not worth very much. You're not making any profit really, if not just a tiny bit. That we love to feed it to cows because they are worth a ton right now. So that corn is actually increasing in value because we're turning it into beef and getting the dollar through that. Versus if we were just crops, we'd be kind of in the like, oh, we're not really making any money right now. But, and then generally when corn goes back up, beef is somewhat lower. It's not always a perfect system, but my dad's taught me a lot about that they kind of are inversely related. So when one is bad, hopefully the other is good and you're staying afloat. That's where it's kind of important to be diverse in operations, and why I really like that we're crops and livestock. It just gives a little bit more security with how things look. And I will say, like, with cattle being worth so much right now, yes, there's that profit is being made. Like, if someone's not making money on cattle right now, they are doing something very wrong, to be honest. Normally I wouldn't say that, but right now with how much they're worth, like, you should be making a good amount of money. But inputs are also very high. So we also have to think of that, because post-COVID, love it, we all know everything's expensive. Same story with all of like our feed and rent and fuel to put up, literally everything. Equipment's expensive, like all of that. So just a little tidbit, it's not always like a perfect situation where like you're automatically going to make X more dollars because you're getting X more dollars. There's a lot of variables that go into it, but it was a really good payday. We're very glad we have more to sell. We wish we had more to sell than what we do, but it is what it is. And we'll see what happens this next fall in regards to filling the feedlot, because it is not gonna be cheap to get cattle. So we'll see what happens. But if you have any questions, let me know. We will have more cattle shipping, so I can gladly answer anything later on. But I would say they did pretty decent without me being here. Pretty impressed with them. Round of applause for everyone in the video for that effort. And yeah, questions, drop them. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time.